In this video, we'll see step-by-step procedure to create framing file. So I double click on this. Now, on the last video, we had shown the concept we have used to create a framing file, which will be used to create ETAB files. So here, my first thing is I'll say file new. Now it is asking me in which folder data is stored. So it is stored in demo folder. So I said, okay. Then it says how many levels are there. So I said there are 7 levels. And I'm asking that take the top level file from terrace plan win file. And this you take from typical, and copy it down all the way. And ground floor thing, suppose I want to use this plinth level file. Rest thing I'm keeping same. And you unmark this, create full structure and say okay. So now I'm giving a file name to this. So I say frame, say D. This is a file name I'm giving. So I'll see plan like plan at level 1. So I can see the plan. I can select and see at which level, whichever level I want to see the plan. Now I go to now I want to assign sizing of the columns. So I said assign column sizing. Now, initially, I want to base my column on the column size will be based on the vertical load. So I just go to say auto size, and suppose I'm using 0.8% still to work out the size. Then I click on auto design. So program works out the column sizes based on the vertical load. Now suppose for this column, now I don't want this size to vary much. So suppose I decide I'm clicking on the size, and for first 3 floor, I want to have a size of 0.3. In the next 3 floor, I want to have a size of 0.3 meter. So I just click on this and click on up. So now it has created a file of first 3 level 0.35 rest 0.3. Now I can flush this column and click. So I just click on this and I click on this. So my this column will become flush. Now suppose this column I want to be have vertical. So I click on this and I want to flush at the top. So I'll do on this. Also suppose I want this column size to be copied at all the corners. So I'll go here. I said right click, copy, and uh, and then I'll go here and I say paste. I say paste. I say paste. So for all this column, my size has become as I given in initial. Now here if you see this size, and this sizes are same. Now suppose for this column, again I click on here and suppose I click on size, and here suppose for first 3 level, I want to keep size of 0.65, and here I want to keep size of 0.6. So okay, so these sizes are fixed. Again as a copy, paste, paste, and the paste. And here I want to change the direction. So I click on here, place on vertical, and I say flush at the top. I click on this, click on vertical leg, and I say flush. Here also I want the same thing. I said flush. Now here I want this column to be in this direction. So I'm flushing it here. And here I'm going to keep a shear wall. So I'm not changing any size here. And here, again for this, I want to be flush on the top. And for this column, I want to be flush at the bottom. So I'm clicking on it. So in short, you can change the column size based on your experience or what you want. Now here I want column to be in vertical direction. So I click on this. I click on vertical and I said, okay. Here also I want in vertical. So I click on this. And and suppose this I want to be in vertical. So I click on this. Again, I want this column to be in vertical direction, y direction, sorry. So this way I have flush all the columns. This I want in vertical direction. This I want in a y direction. This again I want in y direction. So I click on the, so as you can see, as soon as I click on this, I get the geometry and whatever I want. I said I want in this direction. So, okay, and suppose I want to flush it in bottom or top, it's up to me, whatever I want. So in short, you can change the direction. Even if you want to give your own sizing, you can do it. Once this is done, I said close. Now next I want to mark a shear wall. So I go to assign and I said shear wall. And I click on these 2 points. And suppose I want shear wall thickness to be 0.2. I click on this. I said okay. Here again I click on this and I say 0.2 okay. So this way I'm selecting, I've created shear wall. Actually, again, I want to do, I want to change the direction of this column. So again, I say assign column sizing. And for this column, I click on this, plus on this side, go here, plus on this side. So my data is done. Now next, I want to give a wind parameter. So I said assign wind parameter. And I select the city, and based on city, program knows the wind speed, and I'm specifying the terrain. Here I'm selecting terrain 3, and I'm saying height below ground where wind will not take. So I say 3 and height of parameter, parapet is suppose 1. So my wind data is given. Now next I'm going to go to specify response spectrum method. And here again I'm selecting city. Then so based on city, select the zone. Then important factor you can give here. Then what soil type you want. Here I want medium. My damping factor is 5%. And then response reduction factor, suppose I want to give 5. So I click on 5. And for the time period, I click on this. And it asks whether you want without brick or with brick. Without brick, this is the value 0.7357. And with brick, there are 2 time period on X and Y direction. So I said, okay. Once this is done, I said, okay. Now I said, create the ETAP file. So I click on generation. Now here there is an option to create state file as well as E2P file. Right now I'm creating ETAP file. So I click on here. Again, you want to create file as per the old code, click on this. And if you want as per the new code, click on this, generate. So my space frame is generated. Now I'll go to ETAP, start my ETAPs, and I'll read the E2K file in ETAPs. So I'm clicking on ETAPs. So it is loading the software. Then I'm clicking on file. So I say file, I say import E2K file. And then I'm selecting this file. I said open. I'll get a message version 20.3 is read as a in 20.2. So I click on OK. It's not going to make any difference. I said OK. So now it is reading E2K file into ETAP. Now soon you will see the complete file which is generated as per the parameter we have given. So this is my ETAP file which has been generated from FrameWin file. So once this is done, If you wish, you can check all the data. You can go to define material property. So all the material property has been defined. You can say modify and you can see the property. Similarly, it has created all the section file, section property. So it has created all the section properties. Then if, if I select mass source, so it has selected the mass source. You can select the mass source. So this is mass, so it is selected like this. Similarly, you can see the load pattern. Load pattern. So these are the, it is select, it will create the file as per new code. I said okay. Suppose I want to see the P delta option. So here I selected, this is what I generally do, P delta option. But in case if you don't want to use P delta, click on none. So you say okay. Then similarly, you can see the load combination. If you want to see any load combination, click here, say modify. So these are the load 1.2 dead load, 1.2 SI, 1.2 live load, and minus 1.5 earthquake. So all the data which you are required to view has been taken, Framebin created all the data required for it as per parameter given in Framebin. Once this is done, you can click on analyze. So I'm clicking on analyze. So, and I'm giving say file name as a FrameD. So what he's doing is trying to save the models. Now creating analytical model. Now it will do the analysis, which is being done. It will take, I think, few more seconds. So this has been, analysis has been done. Now I can right click on any point and see the deflection. So now the first it is showing earthquake in X direction. I click on this, it is showing in Y direction. Then wind X, wind Y, then dead load, live load, SIDL, again earthquake, and I can start animation. So this has been done. Then you can now, in case if you got drafting software developed by us, then you can do the design. And based on this design, drafting will create all the drawings for footing, column, beam, shear wall, rectangular slab, including the quantity. So which will be showing you in the next video. Thank you so much for your time. To create